Hey everybody, welcome back to night 2 of Party for the Peregrines Plus. And if you didn't come last night, then welcome to Audubon's annual fundraiser. We've got a lot to do tonight, but first I want to thank everybody who signed up for a bid. There are some amazing deals on our auction. And make sure you check out the auction catalog because we keep adding new items every day. Go figure. Please, again, spread the words to family, friends, and colleagues. We'd love to get as many people involved in bidding as possible and also to learn about the great work that Audubon does to save birds and wildlife. Tonight we are going to learn about raptors that everyone has seen driving down Route 95. Tonight's trivia night. Our trivia contest is going to be hosted by Lisa Maloney, Tracy Hall, and Kim Calcagno, and it's going to start right after the program, probably around 7:30. We're going to give you a 10-minute break. There are a few steps to play, and we'll be running the contest through Zoom. And yes, you thought you were done with that for the day, but you are wrong. You've got to be a registered bidder, because that's how we're going to know where to send that winner's gift certificate, and that's going to be to the Batunic Oyster Bar. We're going to send you the link to the Zoom meeting, or it's right down here below me. I can't tell, I can't see down there. We'll be monitoring the message board and our email if you're having any trouble, but we try to make it as easy as possible in this crazy time. And again, we'll take a 10-minute break after the program so you can log in and get ready to play. So let's head over and check out some of our incredible raptors.
Hi everyone, welcome to Audubon. My name is Lauren, and this is Atlanta, a red-tailed hawk.
Hi everyone, and my name is Anne, and I'm with Finn today, who's also a red-tailed hawk.
Finn and Atlanta live at the Audubon Nature Center and Aquarium in Bristol, Rhode Island. They are permanently injured birds who, in the best of situations, would have been released back into the wild, but because they can't fly very well, they've come to live forever with Audubon. Red-tailed hawks are the most common hawk in North America. You can see red-tailed hawks along the edge of Route 95 on telephone poles or in big trees on the edges of fields. They get their name from the red cinnamon-colored tail on the back. You often see them soaring over a field. They belong to a group of birds called the broad-winged hawks. So they have big, wide wings, and they're excellent at riding the air currents up while looking for food. Right now, red-tails are very busy because it's breeding season. So they tend to mate for life. This is the time of year when they reform their bonds through a variety of flight behaviors. And they start to build their nests, and then they'll lay their eggs in a little bit. Atlanta likes to talk, but why don't you take it away and tell us about Finn?
Okay. So as Lauren mentioned, the reason that these birds are here with us today, they're our Audubon ambassadors. They've been injured in some way and can no longer be released into the wild to take care of themselves in the wild. And all our birds have very special and unique stories. Finn is actually extremely special because he was found as a baby. We believe that he, as a fledgling, as he was learning to fly, his first attempt at going out of the nest maybe wasn't so great, and unfortunately he fell from the nest and injured his shoulder. Now, he lived on the ground, we think, for quite a while, and his parents took care of him on the ground for a while before they finally realized that he would not be able to take care of himself or fly again. And then unfortunately they abandoned him. Oops, he's flying off now. And there goes Atlanta. Now what happened, Finn was lucky because this actually happened in the middle of a highway intersection. And someone actually luckily saw him and brought him to a wildlife rehabilitator in Connecticut. And they brought him through many tests. They tried to heal his wing, and when they realized he was not going to be able to fly, or his shoulder, they started to try to look for a home for him. And they called the Audubon Society and asked if we would provide a home for him, which we were happy to do that. So in January of 2016, he came to us as one of our animal ambassadors, and we're very happy to have him.
Atlanta comes from Georgia. She was injured, probably again, hit by a car, injured her wing. You can see this wing is quite droopy. She was rehabilitated in Georgia, and then she went to live with our friend Hope Douglas up in Maine. Hope had an organization called Wind Over Wings, and a few years ago Hope wanted to retire. Well, if you have birds that live 20 plus years, it's hard to retire unless you find another home for them. So Hope asked Audubon Society of Rhode Island to take Atlanta and several other birds, and we were happy to do so. And so Atlanta's a little older than Finn. She's 7. And when we introduced them together in their cage, it was love at first sight, as long as Atlanta was in charge. So they live together in a big, beautiful cage that Audubon donors helped to build. And they get along very well together. And then they have a pair of wild red-tailed friends that come and visit them.
What we think is interesting is with Finn, which is very unusual, we actually know his exact age because he was found as a baby or a fledgling, which is very unusual. Usually when these birds come to live with us, we have no idea how old they are. In fact, Finn did not have his red tail when we got him. His tail was still his juvenile feather tail, and he was very light colored. In fact, the rehabilitator called him Marshmallow because he was so white. But we changed the name as he got older because we felt Marshmallow wasn't quite the right name for a red-tailed hawk. And actually it was Audubon members who helped choose the name Finn.
Yep.
And you can see these birds if you come to one of our Audubon programs, and hopefully we can reopen again, and come to visit them at an Audubon class or school program.
Thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, hi. I was just trying to see if I could find some red tails out of one of our refuges. Hey, it might not seem like Caribbean weather with this cold spring we're having, but I'm about to show you some trips that are going to put you in the mood.
We've all had this daydream, getting away from it all and being in complete and utter bliss on a private island. That makes Palm Island Resort a dream come true. The magic begins before you even step foot on the white sands of the island, taking a short flight and a boat ride, the only way to reach this breathtaking destination. The luxury, eco-friendly, all-inclusive resort is 135 acres ready for the taking. Located at the southern tip of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's crying out to be explored. Whether you choose to stroll, hike or swim, you'll want to investigate every inch of the island. Pick one of 43 guest rooms, suites or villas on the island for an intimate Caribbean getaway where privacy and seclusion is at the heart of your stay. I've checked into Sea Feathers and it's rare that you'll find this level of peace and serenity anywhere else. Whilst exploring the island, you'll have a choice of delectable dining options, 2 bars and lots of hidden treasures. I'm making my way to Dinner by the Heart Palm, where I can recommend tucking in to catch of the day, the perfect way to end a day of adventure. Palm Island Resort is like nothing I've seen before, a paradise like none other. However you choose to spend your time here, you're in for an unforgettable experience.
Hi, this is Owen Helene from Audubon's board. We won a week at Moonglow Cottage at last year's party for the Peregrines and went at the end of January, just before the whole world shut down with COVID-19. Moonglow and St. John are really beautiful, once-in-a-lifetime experience. We lost all track of time, hiking, going to the beach, snorkeling. Snorkeling was amazing. Different beach every day, swimming with turtles and barracuda, and we found this enormous spotted ray. Really, really beautiful. Moonglow's a lovely setting, perched on a hill above Coral Bay, the quiet side of the island. The house is truly beautiful. We had a terrific time, and I hope you will too. Thanks for bidding.
Okay, let's now go back to the raptors. Now you might have heard this call before. Somewhere out in the woods or walking along, I've seen barred owls in downtown Boston near Quincy Market. They are everywhere. But now they're going to be right here for you.
Hi, my name is Iana, and this is Archimedes, otherwise known by Archie. And he is a barred owl that lives with us here at the Audubon Society of Rhode Island.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and Archimedes is very handsome. For those who don't know, I believe that Merlin's owl in the Sword in the Stone's name was Archimedes. That's a great movie to watch with kids. So, barred owl. Why is he called a barred owl?
That's a great question, Lauren. He is called a barred owl because it looks like he has bars or lines on his chest as well as on his tail. Now he's molting a little bit, which means he's losing his feathers, which is a totally normal thing for owls to do once a year. So his tail looks a little funny right now, but you can still see the lines or stripes on his tail. And that's why we call them barred owls.
I can imagine he'd be really well camouflaged.
Yes, owls are excellent at camouflage. When they're hunting, they like to blend in with their surroundings so that they can't be spotted by their prey. So he would blend into a deciduous forest. So trees that lose their leaves in the fall are the types of trees that he would sit in, and he would blend in very well with those trees.
What kind of stuff does he eat?
Oh, that's a great question. He loves to eat mice and other rodents, and he'll also sometimes eat birds. Occasionally they'll eat snakes or frogs.
Wow.
They'll
Yum.
eat pretty much anything they can catch.
What does he catch his food with?
Well, owls are raptors, and that means they have very sharp talons, and they use those talons to catch their food. Those talons allow them to hold on really tightly to their food, and then they use their super sharp beaks to rip it apart into pieces that are small enough for them to eat.
He seems to really like you. He doesn't want to look at the camera.
Yes, Archie likes to look at whoever is talking. He's a little shy because he's a new owl to us here at the Audubon Society. He has only been with us for about a year. He joined us last summer. And he is only about 2 years old, so he's still learning how to interact with people.
Why do people say that owls are wise?
That's a really good question, Lauren. People say that owls are wise because they look like they're always thinking and they've got a lot going on. But they're actually probably not that smart.
I guess they're good at what they do.
They are very good at what they do. They have adaptations and physical traits that allow them to be excellent hunters. They fly silently so their prey cannot hear them coming, and they have fantastic night vision, which is why his eyes are so big, but he doesn't want to show them to you.
I've also heard they can turn their heads all the way around.
They can. They can turn their heads almost all the way around. They can turn their heads 3/4 of the way around, or 270 degrees.
Wow.
So they can't turn them the entire way around, but it's pretty helpful when you can look directly behind you. And they can also rotate their heads this way around, so he could turn his head completely upside down if he wanted to. But they
Wow.
rarely do.
I would love to see that.
It's
I've seen
fun.
that in photos, but I haven't seen our birds do that. That's great. So barred owls, different owls make different noises, right? Do you know what barred owls say?
Yes, owls make all kinds of different noises, and like most birds, they make different noises depending on the situation they're in. They make certain noises to say hello. They make certain noises to say stay away from me. They make certain noises when they're trying to find a mate. Barred owls are most commonly known for saying, "Who cooks for you?" and a nice deep hooting sound. So Archie here is very special, and when he comes out of the box that we transported him in, he likes to hoot a little bit, and he actually just went, "Who cooks for you?" So everyone could hear that.
So you mentioned what he eats in the wild, but do you all go out and collect snakes and rabbits and things for this owl? What do you feed it here?
Well, here at the Audubon Society, we don't ever take anything out of nature. So everything we feed from him, we purchase. We buy him frozen food, we buy him frozen mice, frozen quail, which are small birds, and frozen chicks. And he loves to eat those. And he eats very well here at the Audubon Society.
About how many mice a day does he eat?
He eats about 50 grams a day, so that's about 2 or 3 small mice.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And owls swallow their food whole?
They do. They do not have teeth, so they cannot chew their food like we do. If the food is too big for them to swallow completely whole, he'll use his very sharp beak to tear it into smaller pieces. But he still swallows everything, so he has to regurgitate the pieces that he does not want to digest, like the bones and the fur, and that forms an owl pellet. And you can actually dissect owl pellets and figure out what an owl ate for dinner.
That's cool. Where did he come from? Why do we have him?
So Archimedes joined us here at the Audubon Society because he got in a little accident in January of 2019. And he was a very young bird then. Like I said, he's only about 2 years old, so he was within his first year when he got hurt. He was found on the side of the highway in Suefield, Connecticut, and they think that he was hit by a car. And unfortunately, when he got in that accident, it did some damage to his wing. And he lost a few little tiny bones called phalange in his left wing. And it's not a huge deal. He can still use his wing and fly a little bit, but he would not be able to fly silently, and he would have a hard time catching his food in the wild. So instead of releasing him where he might struggle to survive, he was rehabilitated and then brought to us here at the Audubon Society, where he will live out the rest of his life.
Yeah. Donors helped build his cage. He has a really nice place to live.
He does. He has
Donors
a
helped with
brand
that.
new mew or owl house that he lives in outside, right next to our red-tailed hawks.
There you go. Listen for them, because that's how you're going to hear those barred owls. So let's take a 10-minute break, get something to drink, get something to eat. You're going to log into Zoom to take our trivia contest. If you have any trouble, we're monitoring our Facebook page. Send me an email, a text. We'll help get you on that Zoom trivia contest. Tomorrow night, we're going to meet Joe Zabrowski, our bander. We're going to take a live Q&A. So if you want, or any question you have about the peregrines that are on top of the Superman building, when it went up, how long we've been doing it, Joe is the man to ask that question to. We're going to meet a few more raptors. We'll also do that behind-the-scene look at our raptor care program. And again, please share our auction with family and friends. We need people now to join and bid on these great items. The money we make are going to support all the raptors you've seen this week. We need your help. Thank you so much. And I'll see you, well, you'll see me tomorrow night.